What do you guys think of the new setup? There's all sorts of shenanigans going on now. I can do this. Oh, it didn't work. No, I'm not sure if it's working. Oh yeah, it is. There we go. I'm not on the right view, that's why. There we go, now I'm on the right view. That's better. That's better. I just want to test everything. All of my buttons are broken. How's that happened? I don't know, I think these buttons are broken on here. Let's just try it. Let's do it this way. Oh no, they are right. It's because I've got this. It's because I've got Twitch open here. It's just very confusing because this screen has got the same thing almost as that screen. So yeah. Oh, dear. Sorry guys. I'm sorry. I realised you probably were hearing me twice then. Fix a noise gate on my mic. Okay. Hold on. Hold on.
Open OBS and see what we have. Open normal OBS. And then just see.
This is all good fun.
See what filters were on the audio. So.
Oh yeah, it's down here.
There you go.
Filters.
So ignore gain.
Noise gate.
Gain, you're okay. Put noise suppression first. So.
Noise suppression wasn't on.
Minus 60. Yes, it was. Minus 60.
Da, da, da.
Filter.
Oh. Suppression.
So work that at minus 60. And then reopen filters. And then copy your noise gate levels. No. Your noise gate levels.
50 and 34.
Yeah.
See if they work.
You want to put that. Minus 50.
That'll do. How is it now, guys? It should be better. It'll be better. That's weird. It doesn't say that I'm live on my my dashboard. So I switched to Streamlabs OBS instead of normal OBS, and yeah, it's a slightly different interface and stuff. So there are a few things that didn't carry over and stuff. But hey, like we added loads of stuff to the stream, so it should be cooler now. Content is intended for mature audiences. Yeah. No. No, it's still just like trading on eToro or whatever. Right. Now that we're like done with the drama, how is everyone? I'll go for a run, but I'm with you in your ears. Wow, that's interesting. I can like try and motivate you somehow. Right. Well, the markets are open. I haven't really paid that much attention since they did open. Obviously, cryptos have just moved quite a bit. Let me switch to the screen. You can see up here. So this is my portfolio. How are we looking? So it looks like MU and Netflix are both up on the open. GoPro's down on the open because that was higher up yesterday, and I'm shorting it. Everything. Microsoft's gone back up a bit. That's good because it was pretty low yesterday. I did actually close a position yesterday. Oil is dropping. Looking pretty good for us so far. I'm interested to see where AMD goes. See if we can close out a couple of these trades again. We've got a few deep in red down here. Like these 7% plus is not great, but it's AMD, so it's got a pretty big trading range. So I'm not too concerned about them. I think we opened these at like the open price 30. Wow, okay, that one's pretty high. That one's pretty high. So these bottom like 4 are reasonably high prices, but this one should be like 12, yeah, 12.34, that's fine. So those should be easy to recover. I'm looking in like the wrong, I'm so used to looking over here for my chat now, and now my chat is just here, so. loving good going. For those of you that missed it, eToro streamed they finished about an hour ago, I think, and they had Good Going on there, who is someone that I actually copy on my second portfolio. If you look down here, you can see. Let's go on my second portfolio. Yeah, so this is my second portfolio, and at the moment I'm copying a bunch of people in one copy fund as well. And Good Going was one of my earliest investments. He actually started with slightly less than everyone else, but he's performed really well so far. I think I started copying him not too long ago either, so done better than me so far this year. I wonder if it tells me my viewers anywhere on here. I don't think it does. Bit annoying. Oh well. Move some crypto funds to Good Going. Honestly, he's brilliant for diversifying. He's absolutely perfect for it. Like, he was talking in the stream about quite a lot about you know, how he chose to change his trading style and stick with what he's good at, which is forex, and not focus on cryptocurrencies, and that's really helped him do well. I think KTFX viable seconds forex. Yeah, I mean, I really rate Katie. She had a few bad periods, but if we go on her stats page, so yeah, you can see like October was not a good month for her at all. But yeah, she's recovered and she seems to be doing pretty well. So I believe in her. Like, she lost a lot of copiers, but I still believe in her. I think she's a really good trader, so I'm going to keep copying her for the time being, at least. Yeah, so the stream, it depends if you're talking about YouTube or on Twitch. So I think it should be set to automatically upload on Twitch, but I'm not sure because it depends on their settings. For YouTube, they usually manually do it pretty much straight after the stream. So I mean, your best, if you really don't know and if you want to find out, then your best bet is to mention Matt on eToro. So at Matthew Henny is Matt Newton. So he's the guy that was hosting it, and he is my account manager and an analyst according to eToro. He's got a terrible risk score, so definitely don't copy him. Although you can't see his portfolio anyway by the looks of it. But yeah, Matt's the guy to complain to if you want to get that VOD up sooner. He'll find someone to do it, or maybe do it himself. First time watching me live, cool. Well, welcome to the show. It's sometimes a bit chaotic, but so basically, it looks like there was a pretty strong move in cryptocurrencies. I haven't looked to see if there was any news supporting it, but so far this line, let's switch to this screen, and I'm just gonna full screen this chart so you guys can see. So we're currently on a 1 hour. I'll switch it to a 4 hour, just so it's a bit easier to see like the grand scale. So you can see like this long-term trend here, and there's also another trend along here, which is kind of like the backup trend, I guess. We're on Litecoin at the moment, and this is why I did a quick short yesterday, and I set my take profit. So I shorted this candle basically, very quick short. It lasted about 2 hours or something. But it looks to me like we should be reaching a pretty critical point in a few days' time with Litecoin. The same is true of Bitcoin as well. Close this chart, open up Bitcoin. Oop, does failing. And we'll zoom out on here, so it's a 4 hour as well. Also on 4 hour chart here. I don't have the line drawn from the top on this chart, but the same line can pretty much be drawn, I think. I haven't tried it, but Let's give it a go, shall we? We need to be on a 1-day chart to draw the line, really. Zoom in a bit. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if I just... maybe not. Honestly, it doesn't really seem to fit so well on here. Okay, yeah, it does. It does still fit pretty well. The red candle actually had the highest peak. But yeah, so you can see the same thing. It looks a lot steeper, but that's basically just because of the fact that we're on a daily chart. If I go back to a 4-hour, then zoom out a bit, and you can see that it's still the same sort of angle as the Litecoin one. So this is the range that we're like consolidating in. So there's not going to be too much volatility over the next week or so in cryptocurrencies, I don't think. So I'm pretty much just going to hold out and wait and see. Not a fan of orange. Orange is my favourite colour, my friend. Okay. Oh, I'll change it. My opinion of Dash at the minute. I actually went on the Dash roadmap. I think I mentioned this last stream, actually, you know. So you go to Evolution. Evolution is like the new big thing they're building. Version 13 should be released in June, I think. Pretty sure it's June. Although, it looks like they might have changed this page since I was last on it. But yeah, basically Dash is due out in the middle of 2018 with their Evolution stuff, which will allow things like cloud storage as a D app built on top of Dash. The Light Wallet is already out, so this is on your phone. I actually have it installed on my phone. I haven't used it, but I have it on here. I just realised I'm not showing the right screen. My bad. So here we go. We're on the website, on the Dash website, and yeah. So if we go on the roadmap, you can see what they're working on. Basically, we scroll down. So there's the wallet and stuff. I think basically they fell a tiny bit behind schedule. But this is the next big thing that we're waiting for Dash fundamentally, in terms of, you know, a big change to the actual software, which will hopefully allow us to do more with it. And you can see a bunch of different stuff in here, like state transitions, and I think that's meant to say transactions probably, but yeah. So Spork is another. I'm trying to remember what it stands for. Spork is another technology that was used. Wow, where did I read about it recently? I think it might have been in Zcash that created Spork technology. Oh, what's the other thing that it stands for? Oh, it's entirely lost my, like, gone from my head. Let's click on it and see if we can find something about it. Sporks and what's the other thing called? Oh my god, Ethereum's using it. I'm sure it is. Oh man, this is gonna drive me crazy. I actually can't remember it. I don't think you can exclude tickers from the altcoin ticker, unfortunately. If you type !ticker, it'll tell you where I got the ticker from, which, by the way, is my new favourite website instead of CoinMarketCap, which I'll go on to a bit later. But yeah, anyway, the long and short of it is that the new version of Dash is what we're waiting for, really. And there's quite a few big things in it, but this is probably the biggest: the IPFS Dash drive, with sharding as well. So this is basically IPFS is file storage over IP, basically, and it's a decentralized way of doing file storage. So if you think about Siacoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies that allow you to store files, much like Dropbox or Google Drive, basically they're building that into Dash using IPFS, which is quickly becoming a pretty strong standard. So I'm glad they're using IPFS to do it with. And basically, I guess you'll be able to store files and pay tiny amounts of Dash to store your files, and your files will be distributed between everyone using the Dash network, which is really, really, really cool. It also, I assume, would allow you to do the same bit in reverse, so you can rent out your hard drive space using Dash, using the normal Dash wallet, to store other people's files. And it's all encrypted, so you don't have access to it, all the rest of it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What else is interesting out of this? The quorums. So this is this is something that's probably a bit too complex to discuss on the stream, but it's basically a way of enabling kind of like a split in opinion by how consensus is decided, and then it's always marries up. It's really difficult to explain, so I'll probably save it for a video. But quorums in general is pretty interesting. I think actually XLM is one of the best use cases of quorum so far. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're waiting until this comes out. But as you can see, like it should there's a lot in it, so this should really make a big impact on the price, and it'll probably happen before June as people ramp up towards it. And we'll keep an eye on when it gets to like May or whatever. I'll probably start looking around on their GitHub just to see how far through the implementation they are. So we're on GitHub at the moment, obviously, but if we go into the main thing for Dash, you can see like how many commits there have been and everything else, and the activity levels and stuff, how recently things are updated. So you can see 22 hours ago for the website API, which is kind of cool. But this is a useful place to go if you're looking at cryptocurrencies, by the way, just to see how active they are at actually building stuff. Generally speaking, if they're not on GitHub, then they're probably not worth investing in. So when our crypto's back in a bull trend, disease on YouTube. Jesus, he's proud and doesn't try. That's terrible. Yeah, I mean, I was watching another updated video about from Doug Polk actually about the fate of the people from the BitConnect scams and stuff that are on YouTube, like Trevon James and co. And yeah, it is interesting. Like Trevon and a few others have all been talking about so many other lending schemes even since BitConnect collapsed, and it's just like, why? It's so obvious. Like Davor coin, I remember when that was happening, straight after BitConnect died, so many people were investing in Davor coin, and I warned all of them, and very quickly that also went down. But yeah, generally speaking, if it sounds too good to be true, then it almost certainly is. Those kind of things. It's a shame people get tied up in it. Some of my copiers got tied up in it, so that's just the way it is, I guess. I've not really looked at Icon. I remember doing some due diligence into it a while ago, and I wasn't too impressed, honestly. It just didn't feel like it was all that. So I don't know. Yeah. I I wish I could remember more about it, but I just didn't feel too impressed by it. So it's not what I'm invested in. It's not what I plan on investing in any time too soon either. This MU position's doing pretty nicely. I only opened this late last night. Like from this peak, I was like, you know what, it's worth buying down here. So I don't remember what price I got though. I think it was like mid 59s, low 59s, 59.12. Vechain's pretty good. Vechain is pretty good. I mean, I also like their competitor, to be honest, which is what's it called? Something else chain. Walton. Yeah. So I like Walton. And I also like Vechain, and I own a bit of both. But Vechain, the problem with Vechain is it's been pretty hyped recently. I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of newbie money in it, and when there's newbie money in it, it means that when it starts, having a correction or whatever, it's going to correct a lot harder and faster because there are so many newbies that don't really know what they're doing. Just means the price is a bit overinflated. I wouldn't be looking to buy some now, really. Or if you did, if you don't own any yet and you've been thinking about getting some, I would only buy a small amount now. Maybe wait a bit longer before buying in any further. Good time to buy Ven. Right, right as I say, it's a bad time to buy Ven. Let's have a look. See where it is. It's like it's in the top 20 now, I think. Pretty up there. Ooh, nice little spike. Let's go to all time. Not quite such a nice spike. Yeah, it's not a bad time to be buying. It's not a bad time to be buying. But I think if you compare it to something like Walton, like I just don't think. Why is it always set to like hourly or whatever? I have to remember my settings. But like, look at Walton. Like that's so much more of a bargain because these guys are competitors and they're very closely contended. And the recent scandal about Walton Chain's little competition they did, where they gave the prize to someone that works for the company by accident, and then he accidentally tweeted that from their account instead of his own account because he didn't have a Instagram or whatever it was. I can't remember the exact details. Like that is what caused like a massive drop here, and in fact, like it's total rubbish. If there's a video that I think Coin Mastery, I'm pretty sure it was him, put out about the subject that was really, really interesting, where he basically said that Walton Chain has outsmarted all of us, and yeah, he goes into it further if you want to explore it, but I don't think it was an accident, judging on what he's been saying, and also it just seems, it just seems stupid. Like they're not idiots. Clearly, the person who won that would know that just by him winning it, he shouldn't be announcing that to the world and that they should redraw it or whatever. But it was done by a random number generator. Jesse keeps looking at me and it's very disconcerting. Oh yeah, there's going to be a learning process involved in this. You'll sit in the corner. Yeah, sorry, I've got Walton Chain open now. I was on coinlib.io. So yeah, like I think Walton Chain is undervalued because there's so much hype with Vechain as well. And if you're buying into Walton Chain, you're buying something that is already, there is evidence of their product working. Like Box Mining did a video some time ago now where he actually went out to China and met the team and they showed him the prototype of the product. And that was like 6 months ago now. So, these guys are pretty undervalued. Another cryptocurrency I want to give a quick shout out to, just because of the news recently, is Adex. The Adex is a decentralized advertisement exchange where you can, as you can see, like, let's go on the all time. I think, wow, they haven't had a jump up from that. They definitely should have. So they recently, in late February, they released the beta of their software, which is probably what caused this little rally here, perhaps. It depends, because it depends what Bitcoin's doing at the same time. But basically, they are a decentralized advertising network. So people can go on there, create advertisements, and distribute them via an entirely decentralized system, where people can bid on them and choose what to pay and all the rest of it. So the same as like Google Ads and stuff, except that it's totally decentralized. This is pretty important considering that Google Ads has just announced that they will be stopping cryptocurrency spread betting, CFD advertisements and stuff on their platform. Because between Facebook and Google, they control 60% of global advertisements online. And in the US, it's somewhere around 80 or 90%. I think it's 85, somewhere around there, % between Facebook and Google. And of course, Facebook has already done it, already taken that decision. So between the two of them, effectively it is censorship. Like, it's difficult because, I hate shitcoin advertisements as much as the next person. But I also kind of think it's, to a certain extent, it's kind of like, a Darwin's law, of people who are stupid enough to invest in some of these terrible cryptocurrencies almost deserve to lose their money. It's a bit of a strong statement, but when I think back to BitConnect, and as I said, there were copiers of mine who invested in it, and I told them not to, and they still did it. And some people can't be saved from their own stupidity, I guess. or their own greed in many cases. Yeah, I mean, I'm not actually a big fan of Palm Beach, by the way. Like, most of their recommendations have been pretty simple. I mean, I guess it's good if you're too lazy to do your own due diligence, but it doesn't take very long to research these things yourself. You don't have to be paying some extortionate amount to find out what they recommend, or only to be leaked later anyway. And I'm sure they probably they know it's going to pump every time they announce a crypto that they support. They absolutely know it's going to pump. So I'm not a big fan of it. The banner is nice. What banner? Yes, I do think EOS will outperform Bitcoin and Dash this year. I am quite confident of that. If you want someone who's a massive fanboy of EOS to talk your head off about how amazing they think it is, just ask Chris. Looks pro Bloomberg style. Oh man, this MU position is asking for a take profit to be set, or certainly a stop loss. I'm going to do that, set a trailing stop loss and let it kind of close itself eventually. I did. It wasn't late. You were just hearing me talk about it here before. Nah, I was on it. I was on it. I'm on the screen switching. He says. John Oliver said it. Yeah, so there's a video debunking John Oliver's discussion about EOS. And there's an article debunking it as well, actually. But I feel like he's taken the easy route of just looking at the easily available information, which I don't blame him for. Like, the red colours on the numbers are good, I assume. No, the red numbers are bad. But I had it ordered, so it's showing the bottom stuff at the top, like the lowest performing stuff at the top. But yeah, in terms of John Oliver's arguments against EOS, it's all the arguments that people were making 6 months ago, even 12 months ago when they first announced it. Basically suggesting, hey, legally they say they're not planning on, they don't have to give you the tokens, and legally they say this, and their ICO is super, 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 super long. Why are they doing that? It's suspicious. The company that makes it is, is not even technically going to be building it after they release it. They're just going to build it and then release it, and then they aren't like bound to work on it anymore. All these kind of things, which are like really common arguments against EOS. But if you really do need to just look at the track record of Dan Larimer, and at some of the actions they have taken. I was in a fortunate position to have met Dan Larimer and a couple of the others from the EOS team in London last summer, and we spoke to them about all sorts of things, and they basically told us about the VC fund that they were going to launch early, and I'm talking like months and months and months early. So we knew that they were going to be launching an EOS VC fund, and obviously we didn't tell anyone because because it's private information. But since then they did do exactly that. They said that they would launch $1 billion EOS VC fund, and that's what they did. And the EOS VC fund currently has 2 partners signed up, and they've currently only backed 1 project, I think, so far. But it did happen. They delivered on their promise, and the test nets for EOS are also going well, and they delivered on those. Apparently the documentation's really bad, but hey, I guess that's typical for coders. So yeah, I think EOS is going to do well. I think it really is a big threat to Ethereum, and kind of puts the pressure on Ethereum to try and play catch up a bit. Da, 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 da. Why you don't buy more cryptos on dips? Because I ran out. I bought all of the dips. I bought too many dips. Too many dips too early. So I've already peaked. I have no more money left to invest without massively increasing my risk score, which is already at 7. So I am treading carefully on that front. I did do a cheeky short yesterday on Litecoin. That was kind of fun. Very cheeky. I don't know where it is. Find it. What? Oh, that's a buy Litecoin. Where's the short? Oh, it's take profits. Yeah. As I said, very small, but still, nice little bit of profit. Let's close down this Bitcoin chart. My Litecoin chart's all screwed up now as well. I need to change these things back. What am I doing? Back to a 1 hour. I tend to use 1 hour to track things. Like, it's so easy to get lost in like these, and like trading like little things like this is just not worth it, I don't think. So like the smallest time frame I usually tend to trade on is like 1 hour. Sometimes I dip into like 30 minutes, but not very often. Like, you can do it. You can definitely make money doing that. I'm just not convinced on how worthwhile it is. Would I consider this trader a smart person? Do I want to click this link? I'm always very wary of opening links like this. He's 100% all in on XRP. No. No, I don't think I would. Sorry. That's what I would describe as FOMO. Mr. Thor sold almost all of his deep red cryptocurrencies. Did he? That's interesting. We'll look at his profile. When did he do that? Do you know? So he's still got 5% in Bitcoin. I guess he was frustrated with it dragging down his portfolio. Personally, I just, like, I absolutely know that now is just not a good time to be selling. I mean, like, actually right now isn't a terrible time in the short term and like rebuying it. So I'm watching the charts on my third screen at the moment quite closely, because I think there's probably an opportunity for another short down here again, the same as I did on this one. Yeah, and this one even more so perhaps. Litecoin. But I am zoomed in different levels on both of these. That's a bit better. So yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see him close them. Portfolio, go to history. Okay, yeah, so he's closed out quite a few Bitcoin positions. I had a couple of shorts that he sold closed. Oh yeah, he went through like a big spree of just closing a bunch of cryptocurrency. That's interesting. No, I don't think I would do that. He's been closing it like 1 a week or something, almost, or like 1 every couple of days. That's some loss to take on board. No, I don't think I would do that. Not to that extent. Like, I have closed a few. Let's go to my history, and you can see like I've closed a few spread out. But generally I do it when I think the market's about to dip further as well. Like, but I am overexposed because of the way risk score is calculated. You know, if something becomes more volatile, which it has, then the risk score of holding it goes up. So at the moment I am treading a very fine line with eToro, and they're not very happy with me. But I've got to be sensible about it and close trades when it's right to close them, not just for the sake of you know, for the sake of making my stats look better or my profile perform, you know, look like it's not doing as badly or whatever. But at the same time, eToro do pay me, and I do not have another job, and I now pay Jesse, so I have a responsibility to be sensible from that side as well. I can't just go without payment, and that will happen if I abuse the system. But I think they know that I'm trying to be sensible about it and trying to close out any risky positions over time rather than do it all in one go. What do I think about Nano and Neo? I'm a big fan of Nano. I did get caught up in the brick rail hack though. I lost a substantial amount of money. Although there is some recent news about that where for legally agreeing to basically agree not to sue him, I can get 20% back and then some tokens in his exchange, which will no doubt not perform very well. So I'm actually on the fence about that decision at the moment as well. But yeah, no, I'm a massive fan of Nano. I think actually if it wasn't for that hack where 10% of the entire circulating supply of Nano got stolen, yeah, if it wasn't for that, I think Nano would be a lot higher than it is. I think it's in the top 20 at the moment on, let's have a look, 20. Still got XRB as its ticker, which is a bit weird. I would have thought they would have changed the ticker. I guess they have to convince every exchange and stuff to do it at the same time. But yeah, so the hack happened here, as you can tell by this massive drop, massive sell-off. But yeah, they're doing pretty well. Market cap of 1.2 billion. By the way, one of my copiers makes this website, and he just messaged me on Discord the other day being like, hey, by the way, just because you might be interested, I made this website as an alternative to CoinMarketCap. And I went on it and I was like, this is so much better. It's like, I love this website. It's so good. This is the website, the ticker that you can see just below my screen is from. So they have up here, they've got widgets. And yeah, I managed to make this ticker dark. Beautiful. Although it doesn't show it here unless I maybe if I press set. Yeah, there you go. Change everything to dark. But yeah, you can use all sorts of different widgets and stuff. But as you can do a portfolio, I haven't signed up yet, but I'll probably do that at some point soon and have a play around, see what I think about the rest of it. But overall, I really, really like this website. So yeah, order it by market cap, the same as CoinMarketCap does. And where is Nano? 19th at the moment. Yeah, I think Nano's got a lot of room to grow. It would not surprise me if it hits top 10 at some point. Possibly by the end of the year. I also actually think Binance Coin, with the way that they're doing their community and how they handled the hack and stuff, is honestly a solid buy. I actually own some BNB anyway because I use their exchange, and so for me it's worth it. But even just for holding, I trust it as a buy and hold. There's another diversified. I say diversified when you look at how cryptos move. When it's in a bear market, they all move together. But yeah, worth holding some of that, I think, as well. I am invested in both Nano and EOS. Even after I lost all my coins in Nano, I went and bought more Nano. But Nano was one of my bigger positions as well. It was probably about the third or fourth largest in my portfolio. Any other Forex traders I have my eye on? To copy on eToro? So there's KTFX and Good Going. This is KT. We'll just go on her stats page, you can kind of see her performance. She's pretty consistent. She had one really bad month here, but luckily the start and the end of the year kind of paid off for her. She basically just trades one pair most of the time, which is the New Zealand dollar. Good Going is basically the same, except that he trades cable. So again, and he had a rather phenomenal little run here. This is when he was still playing around with cryptos and stuff as well. So his stats were boosted a bit, and he did. To his credit, he did some pretty amazing trades. but he's decided to kind of like dampen his style down and go a bit more safe, which is cool because it's good to have different options. I also really like Forex Pirate, but he hasn't been performing very well for me so far. Yeah, so you can see he's actually done pretty badly so far this year. I haven't actually really dug into his history to see why that is. Oh, that's why. Oh no, he's been smart. He's bought cryptos during the dip. Oh no, he's shorted them. Okay, that's pretty smart. I can live with that. Let's have a look at his history though. I suspect he was buying the dip on cryptos, which is what cost him a lot of his profit. No, his lost position seems to be elsewhere actually. Yeah, he's not someone that actually believes in cryptocurrencies, interestingly. He did an interview quite a long time ago. Audio click. Oh, did my microphone do that horrible sound again? I am looking for a good amp. Did it do the sound again? Did my microphone do the horrible sound again? Yeah. Oh well. How about... Oh, yeah. I don't know, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I don't know what opens. I can just search it here. This is the first time I've seen this guy. Oh, his current trades aren't boding very well. Quite risky. I wonder what leverage he trades on. That's quite risky for a forex trader. But last year he did pretty well. But again, most of that was in a few trades. If people are just hitting a couple of big trades, that's a bit worrying for me. I don't know. I think I would have to do a bit more digging into his history and stuff and see how he trades and like what leverage he trades on and stuff. Yeah, potentially a little bit too risky for me, I think. I don't think I would necessarily copy him just yet. Yeah, I like having a headset on my head because I've got enough desk real estate taken up by things, even though I lifted my monitors off, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, the microphone quality is good. I think it's probably my motherboard that's letting it down, or something somewhere in between. Because it is only a mini ATX, mini ATX, micro ITX. No, mini ITX, micro ATX. Yeah, mini ITX motherboard. So it's the smallest type of motherboard. So everything's very condensed. So it doesn't have the best audio stuff on there. So I suspect it's probably the motherboard that's the problem. And honestly, this headset has got like rave reviews everywhere. So I think I just need to buy an amp for it. Platinum's not really something that I know about, honestly. Sorry. I did see someone mention oil earlier, so maybe I'll talk about that in a minute. Da, 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 da. Why Neo is having such a rough month. Same reason everything is, really, I guess. I mean, like, again, if we head back down here, and we change this to, like, I don't know, the last 30 days or something, I think you'll see that Neo isn't any worse off than anything else. Yeah. Okay, it is a bit worse off than quite a lot of other things. Yeah, so the last 30 days, Bitcoin has outperformed pretty much everything. Steve Robertson, if you're watching. Jesse laughed at that. Sound is too low, man. Yeah, I'll have a go. Okay, I'm going to add some gain. I have added 4 decibels of gain, so I should be a little bit louder now. Someone else said it's fine, but we will see. My ears. Is it too loud now? How's it sound, Jesse? What do you think of it? It's louder. Cool. Well, we'll stick with this for now. Still too low. Turn up the volume on your own. Some people are saying too loud, some people are saying too quiet. I think what I'm going to do is put it down to like 1 decibel gain, and then me and Jesse will play around with it after this stream to fix it for next time. And I will try and find... yeah, it's down to 1 decibel gain. So we're keeping it basically where it was. If you've got sound problems and it's not loud enough, then, I don't know, turn up your headset. Turn up your speakers, turn up something. Make sure that Chrome is set to the right volume on your PC or your phone or whatever. It's just gonna have to be the way it is for this stream. But it is something that I'm aware of. I was looking at some amps and stuff last night. Hopefully we can put the microphone inside my mouth. Yeah, it's something that we'll try and fix for next time, hopefully. But it is a weekend coming up, so it probably won't be fixed for until like Tuesday's stream, unless we can do it via changing gain and stuff like that. Would you ever consider a hair transplant? No, not really. I've kind of got used to it now. I used to have dreadlocks before my hair disappeared, and then I had like short hair for a bit while I was balding, and now I've just embraced the bald look. And yeah, it is what it is. It's not great. So what shall we have a look at? Good question. Good question, Jay. Did my MU position close? No, it's still open. We're going. Microsoft is like toying with us at the moment between profit and profit. Like, I genuinely think we're doing pretty okay on our portfolio. One thing I do want to check is Snapchat, because I closed out my shorts, and I think I closed them too early. Yeah, I did. I closed them a lot too early. I closed out my shorts like here on this candle, and as you can see, it's gone down substantially further. And I even said that it should, in theory, come back down to like this kind of level, like 15. But I'm not sure. It's a bit too risky. I had a couple of issues actually with with liquidity trying to open shorts, because obviously a short of like 1% of my portfolio is 1% of all the money I manage as well, which means a lot of money, hundreds of thousands, most. I think, I don't know. I'm bad at maths. But yeah, so eToro wouldn't let me open more than 2 positions for a while. But I'm speaking to them to try and fix it and make sure that I can open as many as I want in future, because I did make some nice little profits off those positions. But yeah, looking back, you know, that would be like 10% or something now. I had kept that open a bit longer, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Very bearish on Snapchat, always have been, probably always will be, unless they actually do something smart. GoPro is another one that I'm shorting at the moment. I was also bearish on them when they started. That's part of why I own Garmin shares, because Garmin are the natural well-sitting company to potentially take some of that market away from them. Same as Sony and a few others as well. So I'm long on Sony, I'm long on Garmin. I'm short on GoPro at the moment, although there isn't too much, I don't think, to really gain by shorting GoPro at the moment, as you can see from their chart. They're already pretty low, so, and there seems to be a really rock solid support down at this kind of $5 level. But you never know, they could have another shock move down like this, and I think eventually they will. Eventually they will. I think, unfortunately for them, it's a company that's in trouble. Snapchat's on its last legs. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm just going to be right back for like 2 minutes, because I really need the toilet, so you guys can like stare at all of my screens while I'm gone. Back in 2 minutes, guys.
Hello everyone. I'd like to talk through these shots. Yeah, indicate on the first double. Goes back. Yeah, I was just explaining how the charts work. I was explaining the concept of a reverse double eagle. Yeah, where after a red, there's some green, but then it goes red again. I'll pass you back.
This is why Jesse mainly writes words, and I look at chat. Oh dear. Anyway. Are you a vegan? No, I'm not a vegan. Where do you check how much BTC Mt. Gox has got left? I can't remember the website off the top of my head. It's a weird URL. I did find it, and I actually posted it somewhere on eToro quite recently. But I think the chances of me finding where I posted it is pretty slim. Actually, I know where I posted it. I posted it in the comments of my video. So if I go to my profile, maybe I can find it for you. Yeah, so I think it's in the comments here somewhere. Because I mentioned it in this weekly update video. So I think someone asked for it. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, did someone else do it for me? Damn it, Zach. Dare you. Beat me to it. I spoke about Dash a bit earlier. Basically, we're waiting for their big release in the middle of the year of basically the first version of Evolution. Will enable a bunch of fancy and exciting things. Ta-da. Yeah. Actually, watching. Microsoft's been moving around a bit. Snapchat, I would like to keep an eye on. We changed this last one too. I have two screens at the top. This my top top right screen is where I always have my those. Generally, I pretty much just keep Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum, and Bitcoin on there at the moment. And then this one is the one that I use for stocks that I want to keep an eye on. Snapchat could actually be a buy at this level potentially. Hourly, quick profit. You can see where it gapped up at first. Connected. Let me just do it very well. Put in a level here. So yeah, as you can see, like literally the wick of this candle. Pretty sure I can zoom all the way in on this candle back here. And the wick of this candle pretty much lines up perfectly with this $17 point. And then it doesn't touch it again all the way until here, where you can see like 3 candles in a row, the wicks touch it, and then it finally breaks through it. Comes back above it, and you can see it kind of playing around, trying to decide if it wants to be below it or above it here. And fast forward all the way along to here, you can see that we're here, and we've just seen a green candle. It's not a hammer candle, so it's not super bullish. for the short term, but like parabolic SAR has been traveling a pretty long way. I don't know, it seems reasonable. Like it's difficult on a 1 hour chart really. I'm not as good at reading charts as like hours and stuff because the RSI and a lot of the things that I like using aren't quite so strong. Like on a 4 hour chart, it still looks bearish, but on a 1 hour chart, the RSI is a lot lower. The parabolic SAR is closer to connecting. There's not really much volume, but welcome to welcome to Snapchat. No one wants it. No one wants to sell it. No one wants to do anything with it really, I guess. At the moment. Oh, my chat wasn't scrolling. Stay on the chat. There you go. What did I miss? Yeah, it was a bad move getting Dash when I did. I honestly expected there to be more coming out along the way and better marketing by the Dash team, and they've really not done very well at it. This isn't eToro. The charts are from TradingView. I still use eToro charts like when I'm in eToro quickly to like look at things. Like I have GoPro open right here on eToro. But generally I actually use TradingView for charting now. I used to use eToro quite happily for quite a long time, but it got a bit laggy. So I switched to using TradingView, slowly learning how it works, still learning how it works. And I really like it, like the earnings reports and stuff at the bottom as well, like quick reference, super useful. Yeah, no, I really like it. I'll probably keep using it for some time. Yeah, I think that Snapchat will drop below this support. If we zoom out, we can try and find some more long term. So this looks like a pretty good level here as well. $16.30. That might be a level to watch for a potential buy order. See, it lines up nice. Top of the wick of this candle lines up quite nicely with crazy red candles all here, and of course, yeah, the low of the year, pretty much low of March. Look at that crazy volume on their earnings report. Everyone was having a go. No real clear patterns on this, actually. Kind of interesting. Not like head and shoulders or that like. I guess these are like bear flags, kind of. Mic threshold is slightly too high. What, opening noise gate or closing? What, they're both too high? Da, 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 da. Please hold the line. Is that the right way? Yeah, it's the right way, I think. That way. You watch, it'll be open like all the time now. Yeah, at the moment. At the moment. Thoughts on AMD? Love AMD. Love a bit of AMD. All sorts of drama with AMD over the past few days, though. Oh my god, I might actually have to show you those videos because they are just unreal. My longest position. So long is I don't know how much of a trader you are, Jackster, but long is a word used quite a lot in trading, and it probably doesn't mean what I think you want it to mean in this position. So I guess you mean the position I've had open for the longest period of time. Show us the videos. Well, I'll go into AMD in a minute. Yeah. So what was I talking about? I've forgotten entirely what I was talking about now. Oh yeah, longest position. Let's have a look. So let's see. What is my longest position that I've had open? It's probably going to be a cryptocurrency that I've probably had open from December. Like there's some from early January here, like 7th, 5th of January. There you go. Some December ones here, mid December. So yeah, these were not good prices at all for Bitcoin in hindsight. And I do even I kick myself for not seeing the signs more clearly about how overpriced we were at the time. Although I still think we're underpriced now. So order it by date. Whoa, is that a thing you can do? That's the thing you can do when you're inside it. Yeah. Yeah, so 15th on Bitcoin. That's probably my oldest position. Actually, no, I think oil might be older. I've got one short on oil that could be older than that. Yes, in November. And it's collecting up refunds. So we've got $20 worth of refunds. We're only $75 down. It's not great. I didn't actually expect oil to go over the $60 level when I opened that. And I had a bunch of other shorts open at the time, and I managed to close the others in green. But that's the one that I've kind of been stuck with. So I'll keep it open for now. But I'm pretty content with it to just let it roll over, because eventually it will pay for itself just by the refunds anyway. So even if like we just close it at break even or whatever. What do I think about oil? I mean, oil's not really something I'm actually that experienced in the fundamentals of. Like, you know, the wars and all the drama that goes on in the Middle East and whatnot. You know, I do pay attention to some of it, like, you know, the clear war that took place where the Saudis effectively, you know, purposely like forced the price of oil down a massive amount just to put their competitors out of business, which worked really well in like I guess that was like 4 or 5 years ago now that they started that. But yeah, that worked pretty well. So I do pay attention to it a bit, but honestly, I base most of my trades in there based off technical analysis and just the fact that shorts give refunds. So it seems like a great diversification as long as I pick decent entry points. Which these ones aren't amazing entry points, but they're not the worst. I closed quite a lot of trades in oil recently, so again, my history, you can have a quick look. So there's one back here. It was only 2% though. There are some older ones in that somewhere. I don't know if I can actually show older ones. I'll show more. There we go. There should be a bunch more coming up somewhere. So there's a take profit on oil here. That's 4%. But obviously that's not including the refunds as well. So most of these, another 1% here. Most of these also have good refunds as well. So you're earning like maybe 1 or 2% just off refunds as well, depending how long it's open for and what leverage. But I usually stick to like 2 leverage. I think I've done 5 a couple of times. I've done nat gas a couple of times. I haven't looked at it too much recently. I saw that it dipped a lot yesterday on natural gas. I think it was yesterday, yeah. Looks like it's dropped a bit further. Or maybe stayed stable during the day, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of tempting. Like, you could quite easily see this as a cup and handle, I guess, but yeah, it's given the drama that's going on with Russia and stuff at the moment as well, and obviously they're one of the biggest people out there for natural gas and stuff. It's interesting times, definitely interesting times, because I don't think it's likely, but I guess it's possible that like the UK could lead Europe and other countries into, you know, more tariffs against Russia, or even just boycotting things like their natural gas and stuff. You know, Germany's already weaned themselves off Russian gas and oil already. So, and personally, I would absolutely love for the UK to do the same, speaking purely politically, but I don't think it will happen because We have the conservatives in charge. So, hey, if you're a conservative and you're in this chat, just get used to me hating on you, because I don't like the conservatives. I love Putin. Boo, Tories, boo. Best way we can scare the Tories is to read and get rich. Yeah. And then we'll kill money. Jesse says he does one, I do the other. He does the reading, I do the getting rich. He's turning the light on because I guess it's getting a bit dark. Can I explain the refunds on oil? Not really, honestly. I didn't know they existed for absolutely ages, and then there was an old trader on eToro called Big Fish, who I don't think trades anymore. Oh no, he does still trade a little bit. He's still got like a bit of money on here. He used to be a popular investor, and he told me about the refunds actually. And him and a group of others started trading like natural gas and stuff purely because of the refunds, with the goal of just holding it during stable periods and then selling it and closing out and taking the refund money. But yeah, basically we get money for holding a short. I guess the market needs liquidity that direction or something. I don't know how it works, but I'm okay with it. I believe eToro could change their policy on it at any time though, so obviously got to be wary, got to be on the lookout. But I check in on them like, you know, every day pretty much. Oh, GoPro's going down. GoPro is going down. So is Snapchat going down as well? I said I'd talk about AMD. I promise I will soon. And I'll bring up the videos and we can watch the videos. Although I haven't tested the audio from my PC. It's currently just muted. So it might be really loud or really quiet or something. So you guys are going to have to let me know. First time catching a stream from me. Cool. Welcome, welcome. Join the crew. I don't know how many people are viewing at the moment because I haven't opened, because I'm using new streaming software. I haven't like opened Twitch, which is what I normally do to read the chat, because the Twitch chat is like integrated into what I'm using now. And it says I'm offline at the top, and it says 0 viewers. Basically, I think my Stream Deck is like broken it. To be honest, so I bought this, and it's amazing. Oh, hold on, let me press this button. Oh, look at that! Oh, I didn't add the chat on the side. I feel bad now. So yeah, so this is my Stream Deck. So I can basically use this to move between scenes and stuff. And it's amazing, but I think I accidentally broke it, and it doesn't it doesn't tell me when I've gone live and how many viewers I got. 190, cool. I wish it was 10,000. That'd be great. It could be a second revenue stream for when I trade badly. So yeah. Oh, the chat was working. Someone say something in chat. Everyone type in chat quickly. I'm going to type too. Huh. It does show up. My chat does show up. It's just not working properly. I'm going to go fix that now, because I know what the problem is with that. Properties. There you go. Done. Right. Now it'll be fixed. See, now if I go off this, let's come over here, and then I come back. Aha, the chat's still there. It hasn't disappeared. Amazing. Oh, this thing's so much fun. Look at this. I can go all over the place. Oh man, good times. Good times. XRP bad. Yes, XRP is bad. I like the words that you guys chose to use. Chat will be full of XRP. I can't remember what we're talking about. Let's go find AMD and talk about AMD for a little bit. So there's been all sorts of shenanigans going on with AMD. Actually, you know what? Let's bring it up here. Close Snapchat. Let's open up our AMD, which we have open over here. So we're back up into no man's land again. This is where we sat like during my last stream. It was really frustrating because I wanted to trade it, but there was just no trading to be done really. I like one of our trades is in profit now at that price, so that's good. Intel. So there's been a crazy amount of stuff going on with AMD. I don't know how many of you guys have read some of my posts on eToro. Let's see if I can go find them. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. So you guys keep looking at the chart. I'm going to use the other screen to find some stuff. So there was an article that I read on Seeking Alpha, which backed up my views, which I was very happy about when I found it. I was like, ooh, yeah. It's confirmation bias, nothing like it. Everyone loves a bit of confirmation bias. AMD, here we go. AMD security narrative falls flat. There's a bunch of new articles now because there's been so much drama. So I'm trying to find it. This Chris Lau guy, he writes an awful lot on here. I don't know if I'm going to find it. I'll tell you what, you guys can look with me. Maybe you can find it faster than I can. Maybe it's on this side. It was quite recent. Am I just missing it? I must be blind. I think I'm just blind. There's meddling NVIDIA bots going after AMD. Anyway, there was an article in here about potential market manipulation of AMD. And I tend to kind of agree with it. Like, if you look at the charts and you look at how it's performed. Oh, wow, that line's really old. I did this last time I streamed, and I thought I deleted this line last time. It's like a really old trend line that I had. And then look at that, smashed on earnings. No, denied. And this is actually kind of where it started, to be honest. This insane drop on these earnings. So if we actually click on these earnings per share, they beat their earnings. They beat earnings. Their estimate was 0.06 by the street, and they got 0.07 earnings per share. I did delete it. I thought I did delete it. So like this is where it starts for me. And at this point, I became suspicious of people's motives. I was like, what is going on here? It feels like people were purposely trying to drive it down. And if you actually read the earnings report for back here, this was the Q3 report, I think. Yeah, no, this must have been Q4. Yeah, it must have been the Q4 report. And they basically said that they had downgraded their target slightly for the next quarter, for year on year, and they expected things to go badly for a little bit. But overall, everything was looking pretty good. They'd increased their revenue in pretty much every area, and as a result, they beat their targets for that quarter. And then look at this drop. Like let's measure it. Where's my measuring stick? Measuring stick over here. So I have to zoom in a bit just so I can get it a bit more accurately. Oh no, I don't want to measure from there. Go away. As you can see, I'm really not very good at using this. It is a wonder that anyone copies me sometimes. So we've got a measuring stick. And let's just measure the depth of this drop. So this is within, so we're currently on a 1 hour chart, right? So this happened in basically a day. And it dropped 25%. 25% because they said that their next earnings report would not be quite as good. And their next earnings report, to be clear, was still going to be, they were still expecting their EPS to be profitable. Like, they weren't going into not being profitable. They were just expecting it to grow less than they originally forecast. And it dropped by 25% based off that news, which is just crazy. Not to mention that I also think that their estimates were wrong, and I said that at the time. I'm going to delete that green line now. And so we actually come to their earnings report, which is here. And look at that. Turns out they were right the first time. They didn't need to alter their targets. They were actually pretty much bang on. Like, the earnings was 0.06, which is slightly less than this quarter. So it's not great. But it is still, it's still decent. Like, it was like a 2% drop, not a 20% drop that they were expecting. Um, and again, even after this earnings report, which smashed, absolutely smashed. Look at that number. It's crazy. The surprise rating on it is insane. And we'll measure this one, and look at that. It's just, it blows my mind every time. It really does. Like, what is going on? Minus 20%. And so there seems to be like this running theme of whenever their earnings happen, everyone just shorts the hell out of it. Like, this one was crazy. So this one, they smashed their earnings, 21% better on earnings. It was the first time they became profitable, basically, again, for earnings per share. Oh no. Oh, I don't know where this was. Oh no, that's all ruined. I'll leave it there. I'm going to assume that it was there. It looks pretty good from where it was. And yeah, look at this. So it gapped up overnight with the earnings report. The pre-market was like way up. So it gapped up, it went up for a bit, and then it just plummeted for the rest of the day. And so it lost 12% after again a good performance. And then over the course of the next couple of weeks, it went down by 25%. And these moves are just weird. These moves are just really weird. Oh, it's too late to undo now. I've done too much. Control Z doesn't work. Control Z is a different hotkey on here. I want to start using TradingView. I don't think Control Z undoes. Let's try it. Let's try Control Z, see what happens. Well, I've moved. Oh yeah, it did. It did move it. I just saw it. I was almost bang on where I put it though. You can lock your lines. Whoa. Man, you need to teach me this stuff. Because that's something I should probably do. Because as you can see, I think I'm quite odd in terms of technical analysis, because all I do is draw horizontal lines pretty much, and sometimes I draw lines at angles. Whereas, like, and occasionally like use Fibonacci's and stuff, but most people use a lot more indicators than I do. It's all about the parabolic SAR, couple of flat lines, sorted really. That's all you need. So overrated. Yeah, so that kind of like, I think that demonstrates how odd and how suspicious. Again, earnings report here, same thing. That time they actually missed though, so that's understandable. It just seems very odd to me, very odd. And like, we're talking like the last 3 earnings reports that this has happened now. And I'm very curious to see what happens at the next one. But I'm gonna have to tread carefully because it seems like it's becoming a trend now. Yeah. All these copiers don't know how to use lines on a chart. Crazy. Nah, fibs are useful. I do like fibs, but I don't use them that often. Like, I only use them for like big corrections mainly, rather than like on a 4-hour or 1 hour or anything like that. I only really use it on a daily chart. So yeah, I don't know. Onto the drama of A&D. Let's move on to that. I'll come back down to this screen. Let's see. So we're going to the A&D Reddit, and there is a mega thread somewhere, or there was a mega thread somewhere that I may have lost. See, like, you can see some of the headlines surrounding it. CTS is basically the name of the company that supposedly found these 13 flaws in AMD chips, but in reality they don't seem like anything substantial. And Jesse was actually reading it, and he he read out a few lines that made me laugh, and one of which was basically a simplified version of it is that they put a disclaimer at the end of their report, effectively saying, "Hey, by the way, we also believe that, you know, just so everyone knows, we own positions that could be affected by the news that we are releasing, and we hereby do not state that this is fact, just opinion, and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, it's so obviously attempted manipulation of AMD. It just drove me nuts when I saw it. It's absolutely insane. I'll see if I can find the videos on YouTube, and we'll see if my sound works. CTS AMD. Here we go. Right, let me pause it and fix sound so you guys can hear it. And I'm just going to test this. May be really loud. I'm sorry if it is. No, I don't think you've got any sound coming through. Let's check that it's actually set to the right device. So we are coming out of these. No, we're not. We're coming out of this. Done. Oop, looks a bit loud.
My name is Ido, and I am the CEO of CTS Labs, a hardware security company based in Tel Aviv, Israel. I'm here to talk about critical security vulnerabilities my company has discovered on AMD processors, including Ryzen workstations, Ryzen mobile laptops, and EPYC servers.
CTS is a cybersecurity company that researches hardware. This particular project is about CPUs, the processors that go into computers, workstations, and servers.
When we were looking into the security of chips made by a Taiwanese company called AS Media, we discovered that many of AS Media's products contain backdoors that could be used by hackers to inject malicious code into the chip. When we looked at Ryzen computers, we saw that the very same backdoors that have existed on AS Media chips for over 6 years are now on every Ryzen PC on the market. This was deeply concerning to us, and it got us to look closely into AMD security as a whole.
The danger of hardware vulnerabilities, especially hardware vulnerabilities that sit at the very center of the system, not only in the processor, but in the security processor, which is the heart of the processor, is that it is extremely difficult. In fact, in our opinion, in some cases virtually impossible to eradicate the attack while it started. A slew of vulnerabilities, 13 spread across different devices, some brought in by purchase of third-party IP, some generated directly through the company. There is no assurance that these are all the vulnerabilities that they are.
What we discovered is what we believe are very basic mistakes in the code. An attacker can use these vulnerabilities to infiltrate the secure processor. He can stay there virtually undetectable by security products and remain there perhaps indefinite amounts of time.
What you basically have here is a component that goes into computers, into data centers that are bought by defense organizations and hospitals and banks and other socially critical institutions that is deeply flawed. And what we want to do right now is to bring it to public awareness before it becomes a real problem for society, not after. All the vulnerabilities that...
So yeah, that's the video. I'm just gonna mute it and press play because there's a bit here where his head disappears soon, which Jesse noticed, which is very funny. Oh, didn't need that bit of head. Anyway, yeah. So basically, this video came out, and not very long after this video came out, Reddit investigated, obviously, and it's a shame I can't find the mega thread. Is it? Ah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so in here there is a bunch of like detective work. It shows all the news websites that picked up the news quickly and basically just reported it as fact without doing any investigation and all the rest of it. But if you go further down into the amazing comments, we see things like this. So as you can see, this is stock footage that they have put in the background. So this company clearly doesn't have offices, or if they do, they were too ashamed to show them on film or whatever. Which is, you know, forgivable. I'm sure plenty of companies would do things like that. A bit odd, though. A bit odd. What's more interesting is that the company was only registered about a month ago. So the company didn't even exist until then. You can't find anything out about it online or anything like that. You can't find anyone who works there. All this kind of stuff. There's a bunch of other... I've just lost the thread again. I'm an idiot. I'm glad someone found it. I was searching for it on my second screen while the video was playing. So there's a bunch of other stuff that's come along. There've been all sorts of people that have come out both in favor and against it, actually, in terms of the actual bugs being a big thing. I haven't updated myself on it today, so I believe AMD made a statement on it, but I haven't seen it yet. Judging by the market prices, it can't be too bad. But yeah, so like there's someone linked in the chat earlier to a Twitter account who said that, you know, the flaws are still there despite the fact that the video may be faked and all the rest of it. And that the flaws are still a major vulnerability and stuff. But Jesse actually read the report out of boredom, I guess, and went through all of the different vulnerabilities, and his I guess his comeback to it was that it was a bit like saying leaving your house unlocked is a security flaw and things like that, or like giving someone the key to your house and escorting them into the house and then escorting them to your PC and then unlocking your PC for them and giving them admin permissions on your PC is kind of similar to the security flaw. So I'll see where it goes. I haven't really looked, as I said, at the ins and outs of exactly what's come out of it now. But from what I understand and from the reactions I've seen on the AMD Reddit, it seems like it's a bunch of rubbish. There's actually one YouTuber that I watch, which, if you're interested in AMD, is definitely someone to watch. Really, really, really knowledgeable guy called Adored TV. So youtube.com/Adored TV. Let's find him. I think it's Adored, yeah. What? Ado Red TV, whatever it is, I don't know. But yeah, so this guy makes a bunch of videos about AMD and also about, you know, Nvidia and a few other things. And he's predicted correctly specific statistics about new models of Nvidia graphics cards and things like that that have been released. He really knows his stuff about dies and things. He predicted AMD's models for Ryzen before launch. Like, this guy is literally like the smartest guy I know in this field, and I don't even know him, so I don't know how that works. But regardless, he's someone whose opinion I always take on board and try and look for when this stuff comes out. He's also actually into cryptocurrency, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so this is someone that I'm gonna try and look at and see if he makes a video about it. He hasn't done anything yet, as you can see, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he says about it. But I haven't formed my full opinion yet. But it seems to me like there is a lot of rubbish going on. Jesse's posted a bunch of stuff in the chat for those of you that are not still running. I wonder if that guy's still running. It's been a long run. Keep going. You can do it. He's probably got home by now. Throw windows into windows. Right, so yeah, so that's AMD, I guess. That's I had that other guy's Twitter open on that screen. That was the one I was doing research on. There we go. Let's have a. Speaking of AMD, let's go and have a look at our positions. So we've got one in profit now. Not enough to take a profit really. But this is pretty much what I'm doing with AMD. Like, I'm just constantly cycling through positions. It said on my last weekly update video that AMD was my most traded stock / anything, I guess. Last week I traded 6 positions in it. So yeah. Ooh. AI copy funds. I haven't. No, I have not spoken about that. Well, the AMD is still going up. Maybe all of you guys are buying it now. Push, pump it, so I can sell. Leave you holding bags. No. But yeah, so AMD is something that I'm trading super actively because it's been trading so happily in this big range here. It just makes sense to me to just keep taking easy profits between these different support levels when I see opportunities. So I've been day trading it like crazy. Let's go and have a look at these other copy funds. So I'm a big fan of the CRISPR copy fund, and CAS9, which is like, I guess, the biggest CRISPR technology at the moment that's being worked on. is looking really good. I use a bunch of different like Reddits and stuff to read up about that kind of stuff, but it's not something I'm an expert in by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see. Invest in copy funds. AI Trader 50. Yeah, so these guys, I saw them testing these funds because they copied me for a while. A couple of times actually. Let's have a look at its portfolio. I saw one girl was in it just now. There's a bunch of absolute mix of people. Guys, quite diversified. I'm just kind of looking to see if it's copying anyone that's copying anyone else, because I would see that as a potential problem. But it does look like it's finding genuine people out there who are not popular investors who are trading and doing reasonably well. Let's actually have a look. So there's only 2 that's losing on at the moment. That's pretty cool. I wonder how often it rebalances. Yeah. Oh. Sorry. My bad. I'm still learning. It's new technology. Jay, this dude has 100% green trades for the last 6 months. Who does? Anyway, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm looking through who it copies to see basically if they are like real traders effectively, if they're really actually actively trading, or if they just copy other people. But like, it seems like so far out of the ones I checked, I obviously checked a few before you guys started watching. Let's go to the stats of him. I didn't want to go to the stats of him. I wanted to go to the stats of the person who was copying. Oh, I'm getting lost. I'm going all over the place. Go back into it. Yeah, so if we go to here and then click on his stats, this guy's pretty good actually. Maybe this AI will be used to find new popular investors. This guy's been trading for a long time as well. 2013 he's been on here since. Just casually trading away on his own. Interesting. I wonder how much leverage. He's not using any leverage on these. Has he just had these 2 positions open all this time? I don't think that counts. It's just it's just had 2 positions open since 2015. What? Now I'm confused. Let's go into his history. Has he ever? Wow, has this guy forgotten about his portfolio? This is hilarious, man. Well, he's done pretty well anyway. Yeah. So it's copying a guy that hasn't done a trade in 3 years. That doesn't bode very well. That's the first person that we properly investigate. What for? Was I? Oh no. You're right. I was. And that also clearly says I'm a total idiot. Maybe he just really likes those 2 companies. I have to go into here and then go to portfolio and then go into history and then go into 1 year. Okay. So he's done a few trades. That one didn't end very well. Pretty long term. All of these seem to be hitting their default take profits though. He doesn't seem like a very active trader at all. It seems like he just logs in once in a while, buys something, and then disappears. And yeah, is this all from 2015? No, it's not. These are from 2017 and 2018. Oh yeah, you're right. That's when they were closed. So yeah, not sure I trust the AI's picking of this guy so far. Let's investigate someone else. So look at this guy, Zoostick. So we go to his portfolio, have a look. He's got a bunch of stuff. Very diversified portfolio. He's also copying 2 people, which isn't, I don't think, a great thing for an AI to be looking for. Good earnings and low risk. Do that and ask eToro to join the Popular Investor program. You literally just have to phone them up, and if you've got good stats, they'll let you join the program. And if they'll then kind of monitor your progress and stuff, and they may choose to feature you or help you grow or whatever. You can ask them about how it works and stuff. The other thing I think is useful is posting actively. Good going posts like 5 times a day. I post like a few times a week. Wesley posts several times a week. Mr. Thor does as well. So like, you know, it's called social trading for a reason, right? You have to be social. Yeah. But if you're good at earning, then people will copy you anyway. Eventually. It can take a bit of time to kind of break out from the blue star level though. But once you get out of that blue star level, it's good. After that point, you'll easily start getting recognition if you just keep performing well. Okay, so back to this guy. So this guy has a lot more positions, which is good, but he does copy people, which is bad. He seems pretty active. So this is 1 year, and there are quite a lot of trades. You can check the open dates. Like every month, he's opening like four or 5 different trades. So yeah, this guy's a decent pick, and I wouldn't have found him because he's not a popular investor. Let's just check his stats. So he started really bad. Been trading for a while though. Like maybe this AI is actually just genuinely pretty good at finding people that get good returns. It's a shame that it doesn't. I feel like it could get undone by potentially copying people like this guy, who hasn't done anything. Because again, like that's dangerous if there's too many people. Like it doesn't really matter if it's like one position like this guy, because that's 2% of the portfolio. That's not going to drag it down if his profile tanks because he's AFK and something crazy happens. But if it's copying a lot of people that do that, then that's probably not good news. But I guess the stats speak for itself, to be honest. Maybe I'm just being biased because I don't want to be replaced by a machine, but the stats speak for itself. It's never made a loss. Like these ones here are simulated, like because the bot wasn't actually running at this time. If it's got an asterisk, it means the bot wasn't actually running. But they're basically running it for over a year now to test it, and it returned like 30% last year. So, which is better than the market. That's the key thing you also want to look at is like, is it better than just holding the Dow Jones or the Nasdaq or whatever? And in this case, it is slightly. So, yeah, not bad. I will probably even consider it myself. Maybe. I'll probably do a bit more research just to see who else it copies though, and if it really is potentially making some mistakes. But it looked like even from like the 4 profiles I looked at, it looks like a diverse set of stuff on there. Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does have a mix of those two. It's really cool seeing eToro experimenting in this area though. I think they're partnered with Microsoft that are helping them do it. If I remember right, yeah, Microsoft. Well, Microsoft's advanced machine learning technology. Yeah. Whether or not it's like directly Microsoft, I'm not sure, but it's cool though. It is cool. Always good to have options. I'm still a big believer in the trending R7. I think that's a pretty good copy fund. Though this guy appears to be in both of them, and he looks quite evil. I was on his profile the other day. I'm sure I was. Anyway, getting too distracted by copy funds now. So, AMD's still sitting still. Cryptos. Glad I didn't go for that short just yet, because it looks like we might break support actually. Like these lines, I'm pretty sure these lines are not correct where I've drawn them. On this one at least. This one looks pretty good though. But I'm pretty sure this Litecoin line is not right, and I haven't even drawn the middle lines on this one or this one. It's got the lines either side a bit, but let's take a look at. Yeah, see, if it breaks out of this, then that's good. There's a nice big range for it to trade in. Like there's another line here that I haven't again drawn, because you could draw lines all day if you drew every single one of them. I just draw the big ones. So like, yeah, there's clearly one here. There's also one below it here. You can see it lines up over here. Yeah, we'll see what it does at this support level. It's or well, resistance level. If you're going up to it, then it's resistance. If you're heading down to it, it's support. Unless you're shorting, in which case that's reversed. Yeah, I normally do draw them in the time frame of what I draw. Whoa, trading daily? Who does that apart from Liam Davies? I use 4-hour and 1-hour charts all the time. So 4 hours normally where I would draw the lines. But yeah, you can see really clearly that it still lines up. The one that was here, and then the one that is just here. It lines up here, it lines up here, lines up over here. It probably lines up a million places in the past as well. Woo, patterns. Yeah, lines up with this. Patterns. But that's a pretty strong candle. Parabolic SAR is still miles away as well, so I think this could well break through, potentially. This could break through. But it might just do like a little dummy a bit like this did. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could make an AI that doesn't use the copying functionality, but eToro's USP is the copying functionality. So I'm sure that when a company comes to eToro and says, hey, we want to test doing stuff with you, or eToro goes to them saying, hey, we want you to build a bot to trade on our platform, that copying is very often involved. Because they need to keep that going and keep that alive, because it's their USP, and it's a really good USP as well, I think. I mean, you know, I use it a lot on my second portfolio, as I said before. Like, and eventually, when I add some more funds, sometime to this portfolio, I'll probably copy a few more people. Although it's not loading at the moment. Yeah. So look at my Bitcoin. I bought the dip. I'll probably buy some more of the dip. I didn't buy the dip on these. I felt pretty bad at buying the dip on these. But yeah, Steve Bliss, Forex Pirate, and I guess if I was copying myself, would be the worst performers. Liam's done pretty well during this drop. USP, unique selling point. Thank you, Jesse, for writing that just before I said it, because I just noticed that. Nice to see you streaming regularly. Broad question, but what's your current sentiment on the crypto market given the dips we've seen this week? Any theory on the cause? I'm pretty sure actually that the let me bring up a chart again. So here's Bitcoin again, and we're currently on an hourly view, which will give us a good view of the week basically. So let's see. 17th is here, so like the 10th is back here. So like this is our week pretty much, starting from like this drop to here. And honestly, all of this right here, nothing fundamental fueling any of this. I'm pretty sure all of this is just people trading. Yeah, I think it's healthy, and I think that we are, you know, we are definitely in another phase of testing out a bottom. Like it's gonna be volatile for a few weeks, I think. Realistically, like this triangle actually lines up pretty well, because generally after you have a big like correction like this, there's like a few weeks or a few months, depends on the time frame, of volatility that follow before it kind of settles down, goes flat for a little bit, and then it starts rebuilding. Like those are just kind of like the hype the hype levels of a bubble, I guess, or the different like phases of a bubble. I say bubble, I mean like, you know, parabolic move upwards. So like if I go out onto like the daily chart and then zoom in because I'm super zoomed out, you can like see really clearly. It doesn't look it back here, it's still quite volatile actually, but like along here is a really flat period. I need to be on a weekly chart actually, so I can compare to like the old Mt. Gox stuff that happened. So yeah, back here, this was the Mt. Gox bubble, when Mt. Gox collapsed. And you know, you have this big move, and then there's like volatility, but it's going sideways, and then it kind of just like goes up, flattens out, and then we head into the next parabolic move. And it's basically the same thing that's going to happen again. And it happens every time. That you can zoom in and you can do it on like little ones as well. But effectively, it's always the same like core cycles of it. It goes reasonably flat, then it goes into like a kind of a reasonably healthy move upwards, then it goes parabolic, then it corrects, then it gets volatile while it's still, you know, trying to find its level that it's happy at, and then it's flat again. And that's the point. That is the safest time to reinvest. But the volatility is the bit that's good for trading, obviously. And obviously, if you can catch the parabolic move every time, then that's great. But most people miss the top of a parabolic move. And by most people, I mean like 99%. Let's move this back to a sensible time frame. But yeah, I'm interested to see if these lines hold, and if it does kind of just consolidate in between these, and then break out. I would imagine that it's going to break out sideways actually. I don't think it's going to break out to the top side. I think it's going to find a level somewhere between like here and here. So somewhere between like 11,000 and maybe 9,000 I think is roughly where we're going to end up in a couple of weeks time. But it's always difficult to say because like Mt. Gox news comes out and changes everything, or you know, an exchange hack happens or whatever it is. There's like the fundamentals are just non-stop in crypto. What do you think of Jasper? I absolutely love Jasper. Jasper is a legend. Oh. Why can't I find him? Oh, maybe I'm thinking of someone else. That's who I was thinking of. Copy people. Let's see if I can go find him. He's not in the... What's his nickname? Maybe, why was I confusing him with someone else? Or was I? I know who you're talking about. Japper Kirk Bond or whatever his name is. Oh my god, someone type it in chat. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to find him, but you can see now. Calm down, calm down. Thoughts on low risk traders? Amazing for diversifying. Like realistically, if you are someone that is over the age of 30, then those are the traders that should be making up the bulk of your portfolio. Like it's just not worth risking that kind of money unless you're a maniac like I am. See, I do the opposite. I have like, you know, 80% of my money in risky stuff and 20% of my money in sensible stuff. But I am slowly transitioning away from it over time. But realistically, I mean, it depends what your risk appetite is. If you're 22 years old, for example, and you're working some random job somewhere, and you're just investing, you know, a few $1,000s or whatever it is, you can afford to lose it. You can actually afford to lose all of it. You really can. So having a portfolio made up of people like myself and Liam and Steeblis and Wesley, who are all quite risky traders, and even then adding on top of that some like just dedicated buy and hold Bitcoin, buy and hold XRP if you want to, whatever it is that you want to do, is reasonable, because if you lose $3,000 at the age of 22, life doesn't end. Like, it's not great, but but you can quite easily recoup that investment. But if you're like, I don't know, 25 or 30 or 35, and you're kind of heading like, you're a bit more settled in life, you've got a girlfriend, maybe you've got a mortgage, maybe you've got like 2 cats to pay for like I do, then you have to be a bit more sensible. And at that point is when you should be looking more towards the mid to low range traders like KTFX and Good Going, TST Invest, all those kind of guys to look after your money a bit more sensibly. You can still have like small amounts. You can still put that like $2,000 of your $10,000 portfolio or whatever into risky things, into risky traders. But I don't think it's something that you should be doing like with your entire portfolio if you're at a point in life where you need that money. Sensible stuff. And as Moobot just very correctly stated, thanks to Jesse. But like, it's common sense at the end of the day. Like, everyone has their own risk appetites. Maybe you're single and you live in a caravan and all of your money is in Bitcoin. That's fine, go for it. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, you don't have any outgoing payments that are like critical. But I mean, it's still super risky. Like, I don't think I could live like that, but $400x oil all day. How are we doing on viewers, by the way? Because I still can't see it. Okay, that's not too bad. We've lost a few stragglers disappearing. I'm going to keep it on this Bitcoin chart because I'm intrigued to see where it goes, because it's just poked up above that line. I'm going to put it on like a 30-minute chart or something so we can watch it a bit more closely. And while it's at that, I'm going to go to the toilet again because I'm clearly drinking far too much water. So I'm sure Jesse will come and like hijack my PC again. No, he's happy in this corner. He's watching some wrestling. Perks of the job, eh, Jesse? He gets paid to watch my stream. It's amazing. He should be paying me. I can answer that question for him. How and when do copy funds get invested when you add funds to a copy? Effectively, the funds are added immediately to like the available balance to go into new trades, and instead of copying open positions, it will wait for me to open new trades. Simple as that. So it will proportionally copy the same as it would if you started copying me without copying open trades. But as you add funds, it just means that it will copy with a higher percentage. So basically it takes several months, depending who you're copying, to add funds. So if you're copying someone like Liam Davies, and you want to add some funds to his copy, you're better off uncopying him and then copying him again with the new funds, generally speaking. Like, not all the time. Whereas with someone like me, because most of my trades are refreshed within like 3 months, like 99%, apart from that oil one, every one of my trades is from 2018. So yeah, with me it's not too bad. You know, it should filter its way in reasonably quickly. Listening, not participating. I think I'll copy her if she gets her green star. I think Katie's good. Katie's decent. Yeah. So really, it depends. It depends entirely on who you're copying. Some people, like most of the forex traders and people like that, like good going, you don't need to uncopy and recopy because he's pretty active. Same with Katie, I think, for the most part. But stock traders, quite a lot of them go long for a lot longer periods of time. Someone like Liam, he's still got like positions open from 2014 because he's a madman and he can't be stopped, and he needs controlling. Somebody needs to stop that guy. Oh, I love Liam. Liam's cool. What if you want to remove funds? So that's actually a much better question, to the point where I may even need to, like, I don't know, show you something on eToro. Okay, removing funds. Removing funds is interesting actually because there are several ways you can do it. So you can stop the copy, you can pause the copy, or okay, there's only 2 ways of doing it. I said several, but there's only 2. So by just stopping the copy, it will close your positions as soon as the markets are open and available to do so, which by the way is very important. If you want to stop copy using stop copy, if you want to stop copying someone using the stop copy function, you should always do it when the markets are open, because otherwise you just don't know what prices you're going to get. And it's generally, you know, like, especially if there's like during earnings season and stuff, you want to be careful about that because you just don't know where it's going to end up, and you could end up getting a really bad price for some of the stocks or shares in someone's portfolio. But that's the easy way of doing it, right? You press stop copy and it literally closes everything as soon as it can. So cryptocurrencies, even if you do it at the weekend, it will just close them straight away. The safer way to do it is actually to effectively taper your way out. So you use pause copy, and then what happens is it doesn't copy any new trades that person opens, but it will still let them close all of the trades for you. So if you're the kind of person that's looking to like have a stable income from your shares, and like let's say you've invested like $10,000 and you want to take out $100 a month, so you're just hoping that someone makes you 1% a month or whatever, and you've got a nice balanced portfolio and it's doing exactly that, then using pause copy can be a really good way of doing that. You literally use pause copy, wait until you've got $100 of available balance, withdraw that money, and then resume the copy, and it will start copying their new trades again. So you're only missing out on a very small amount. Several means too, yeah. Apparently. So yeah, like those are the 2 ways of doing it. In terms of actually withdrawing from eToro, it can, depending like how much money it is, what country you're in and stuff, like if you've got an account manager that loves you, it can take, you know, a couple of days normally, what payment method you use to withdraw the money. There's only a $25 flat fee for withdrawing, so as long as you've got a decent amount in there, it shouldn't really impact you too much. So yeah, the more money you have to withdraw, the better value that is, I guess. You don't have to use pause copy or stop copy to remove funds. If there are funds available, you can still remove them. So, for example, let's say that you are copying my profile right now and you're fully up to date, you've been copying me for like 6 months or whatever. Then right now, as you can see down here, currently I have this much money allocated, which is down by this amount, meaning it's worth this much, but I have this much in funds available. So if you are copying me with exactly the same amount of money, then you would also have this much money available. Percentage wise, you know, this is like, I don't know, 8% or something of my portfolio. It will tell me if I go like onto a different view somewhere. Let's see. If we go up here, it should say exposure. Where does it say it? Allocation? Yeah, so 6.7% of my balance currently is available. So that 6.7% of my balance that's available for you can be withdrawn. So you can withdraw that. It won't affect any of the trades or anything. It just means that any new positions I open obviously won't be copied because you don't have any funds to copy it with. So hopefully that answers your question. Green stars? Hold on, I'm scrolling. Are people with green stars forced / encouraged to trade more responsibly? They are not forced any more than anyone else in the Popular Investor Program, or less. So anyone who is in the Popular Investor Program, meaning they have a blue star, red star, yellow star, or green star, doesn't matter which, they all have to abide by the same rules. The only difference is that when you are a green star, you actually have to like sign proper terms and conditions and stuff when you join. But yeah, no, that's it. Like, we have to keep our risk under risk score of 7, which currently I am failing at doing, which means I will be punished. And like, it is a serious thing as well. It is a very serious thing. Like, they take it incredibly seriously. Like, if you keep doing it, then they will literally just, you know, stop people from copying you and even close their copies of you potentially. But I've been talking with them as it's been happening, and obviously, like, there's some quite interesting circumstances at the moment, and not everyone, but a lot of the more risky traders have been caught out by this. Myself, Steveless, Liam, Wesley, I think all of us have been caught out by it to a certain extent. Although I'm probably on more of the worst end of that at the moment. So yeah, I'm working at the moment to reduce my risks safely, because one thing I obviously don't want to do is to do it at the expense of my copiers. I don't want to close trades just because I have to close them. I want to close them at a time that is sensible to close them, if that's what I need to do, or diversify or whatever. So that hopefully makes more sense. Why can't you copy jaynemesis 2? Probably because the risk score is too high, maybe. In theory, there's no reason that you can't. I mean, risk score is 5, so yeah, you should be able to copy it. I believe people have copied it in the past. The only thing I would say is that it's a portfolio with a lot of big things in it. So, for example, because it's copying a copy fund's minimum deposit is $5,000. So unless 6.68% of your portfolio is $5,000, then you shouldn't copy it, because it won't copy that position. Or you could, but that one position wouldn't be open, I guess. It doesn't work. I don't know. It may be worth asking somewhere else, but at the same time, I don't actively trade this. So if you like this portfolio and you like how it's performing, just copy it. Literally just go see how much % I'm copying different people with or whatever, and go replicate it and do the same yourself. Go find TST Invest and invest some money in him. Go find Steveless and invest some money in him. Like, it's as simple as that, really. This is my second account. My third account is purely for my eToro payments to go through, because it was breaking statistics. I'm pretty sure every popular investor does this now. So as a way of not breaking my stats every time I get paid. And it actually even broke trades once. So yeah, there's nothing special about it. I mean, I can show you if you really want to, but like, you'll see absolutely nothing. There's nothing in the portfolio. There's no stats. There's nothing. I've lost all of my money in February. But obviously that's not true because there's no money in there. It's probably because I just withdrew all of my balance. So that's when I started using this account for payments. But to my knowledge, every single Green Star trader is using another account to get paid now. Yeah, it is me. It is me. That's me in a helicopter. That was me when I went on holiday last year. It was good fun. Malaysia. Fun time. Good trip. It's like the new Thailand. Helicopter to the moon. No, it wasn't a helicopter to the moon. Man, Solar Edge is just smashing it. New highs again. There's new all-time high. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable run. Look at that. If you invested back here, that is some gains. It really is. And like I was here for this earnings report. I bought in like back here somewhere. Maybe even earlier actually. Some of my positions were back here and I've been kind of trading it since then. Crazy. Even just buy and hold, you would be sorted with these guys right now. And I think First Solar is going to go the same way pretty soon. They were due to have a bad quarter at the start of the year, so I'm not too concerned about this dip. They've got a bit more history behind them, like if we're on a daily or weekly even. Let's go daily. You can see that like there's a long history for these guys. Weekly? Actually, let's bring it up here instead. Let's change our AMD chart. Although I might have to close, maybe consider closing one of those positions quite soon. Like I think somewhere like 1160 or so would be a good level. Let's take a look at First Solar. So here's First Solar. Let's zoom out and put it onto a 1-day chart. So you can see First Solar actually had like this massive boom period back here. I knew nothing about the company back then. I wasn't involved in it at all. I only really became aware of them in like 2014, I think, and I kind of started trading them during this dip here, which has been going pretty well. But I guess I would have to look into it. But I guess I would suggest there's no reason that it shouldn't continue to go up, or that it isn't capable of going up to these kind of levels. Yeah. Let's read the chat. I see another question. Jepikak. I'll move on to Jepikak in a minute. I'm just going to answer this guy's question first because it's easier and quicker. So yeah, do we, in brackets, own crypto for trading CFD? So that was really, really badly written, but I know what you mean. And you asked the same thing further up and I missed it. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, basically, if you are buying cryptocurrencies on eToro, you own the real underlying cryptocurrency. eToro literally use a collection of different exchanges to go out and buy that cryptocurrency for you. They are holding it in cold storage wallets of their own at eToro. And yeah, it's just as simple as that. At the moment, you cannot withdraw it, but they have publicly announced that they are working on wallets, and I believe the main hold up on those going live basically is down to regulations and know your customer and things like that, because they have to remain compliant, whereas most crypto exchanges aren't that compliant if you think about it. And also they want to test it and make sure that it's secure and all the rest. But they are actively working on cryptocurrency wallets, which would mean that if you bought some Bitcoin on eToro and you wanted to keep it in your own hardware wallet or whatever, you could transfer it to that and do that. Or if you wanted to buy a t-shirt with it, you could also do that, in theory. What happens if my position is lost? eToro could keep the real crypto. What do you mean by that? I imagine, first of all, I imagine it's not going to go to zero. But in theory, if it did go to zero and their stop loss did kick in at zero and it sold your tokens, I guess it wouldn't sell the tokens because no one would be buying it. But I imagine if that actually did happen, that they would happily give out the tokens. To be honest, like I don't think it's like an automated thing anymore. I think it used to be, but I don't think it is anymore. Which I suspect actually that's part of the reason why they removed stop losses, is because trying to coordinate stop losses across all of the different exchanges that they partner with, especially on like big moves, was just too difficult for them to control. Whereas with stocks, I'm pretty sure they just go through like a few major partners. Like they have one person that they go to for all of their Snapchat trades, for example. Like maybe it's Goldman Sachs or I don't know, whoever. Whereas with cryptocurrency, they have to use a lot of exchanges because they need a lot of liquidity. eToro is actually technically the third biggest platform for buying cryptocurrency in the world, behind Coinbase and somewhere else. I can't remember what the other one was. Because eToro has got, you know, almost 10 million users and over 100,000 active users as well. I mean, I would double check with eToro, but in my head, if something is worth 0 because it has gone down to 0, then I don't understand why they would automatically sell it and close it. Like they might close your trade on the platform, but they still have the crypto. And I imagine if there was like high demand because it was like a flash crash or something, that they would give it back. But I also imagine that it's very, very unlikely that any of the cryptos currently listed on eToro are going to go to 0. At least certainly not like anytime soon. And I forgot what B was, but there was a B, and it was a good point. So you should like imagine a good point and then pretend that I said it. Spotify going public. Yes, I really want Spotify on eToro, and I have made my thoughts known to Matt about that. April 3rd. Ooh. Okay, I need to make my thoughts known again because I want Spotify. I want to trade Spotify. If it was 0, you could not buy it all back for 0. Yeah, but I also imagine that they wouldn't sell it for 0. They wouldn't go and give it away on an exchange. That would be insane. This is Annie 100% of eToro's customer support. Poor Annie. Yeah, but I think probably when you lost your position before would be because it actually had stop losses, which is part of why they removed stop losses, I think. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of contributing factors but there'll be other people taking over. Did she say she was leaving? On her feed? Oh, that makes me sad. I should go find that feed and comment on it. That dog. Amazing. What an amazing little dog. There you go. I told her I wanted an invite to the leaving party. I feel like it's only fair. She works in the London office, so I've seen her in the office a few times and spoken to her a bit. She's a chill person. She made some cakes once. It's a really random thing to say. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I'll probably, if I remember, I'll speak to Matt about it as well, because it is an interesting question. I don't think we're ever going to find out is the reality of it, because you know, I don't think cryptocurrency is going to zero. But I would rather know what happens just in case it does happen. I've not done very many trades today at all. Oh, beautiful. Let's open some more shorts on oil. Someone did say it was going up. I think it was Tyrael. Tyrael was going nuts about it earlier. Oil! Oil! So this is a good... well, let's double check the chart first. Let's be sensible. Oh. Is this going to be the correct price, this oil? We go on Barclays. How much? Jesus, never buy your oil from Barclays. You heard it here first. Crude? Is it under crude? Oh, did I say expensive? I just realised it was like $6. I guess that's the, I don't know. I guess that's like their little thing of oil or whatever. I love loving the volume here. What's up with that? Hilarious. Let's put this on a non-daily. Have a look on 30 minutes. Big spike. Something must have just happened fundamental wise, I think, to cause that. Because that's quite odd. Not too odd though, we've seen it a few times. Good opportunity to short, I think. So I'm going to go and open a short on this screen. Sell, and we're going to use 2x because I always use 2x because it's safe. And we'll go with 3. What's my portfolio balance at the moment? Okay, we're going to go with 390. And take profit was set to like 60.62 for the moment. May, that is the reason for the dump. Da, da, da. See if anyone's talking about it on eToro. This guy's confused, or girl, I should say. Wow. Did he use loads of leverage? I bet he did. Oh no, I'm going to get all the notifications from this thread now, aren't I? Jesse's stalking me. Let's see where this goes. I'm intrigued to see if there is any more substantial news. Where did you find out about that news? SWFF91? Swift. I shall now refer to you as Swift. Henceforth you shall be known as Swift. But the good thing is that I am very confident that, like, at this price, there will be a point that it will be lower. Like, the trade that I opened back here isn't great, but I'm confident enough that it will come back down to this level at some point that I can close it at like break even-ish, and kind of, you know, survive, I guess. I say down here, it was earlier than that, wasn't it? It was back here that I did it. I trade oil with like 5% of my portfolio, and I'll probably keep it that way. It's just a nice bit of diversification, and the refunds are nice. Hi Jay, if I copy you and some of my positions are more favourable than yours, i.e. I buy BTC at 10,000, CF your position at 16,000. Should I close when I reach profit, or wait for you to close? That's a good question. I think it depends. It depends on your risk attitude, right? Because in theory, if we're both confident that it's going to go up above the position I bought it in, then I would close it for you at that point and you'd still make really good profit anyway, right? But if we assume that it could take a really long time, then potentially you're just taking on extra risk for no real reason for a lot of that period. Or if you think it's going to go down back below where you bought at, then you could, you know, close it. But it wouldn't reopen that position until I sell my position. So your money would just be sitting in US dollars if you did that. So generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, I would say it's better to just keep it open and let me close it. But there is always a risk, I guess. A pretty small risk, though, that I could close it at a loss for you and for me, even though it would be green for a pretty long time. My shift button got stuck. Oh no, his shift button. Yeah, like, there really is no reason to use caps lock all the time, dude. Like, it makes it very difficult to read what you're writing. It's nice to know what you're saying, though. Like, what you're saying is useful to me. You're reinforcing that I made a good decision on my short that included no fundamental knowledge whatsoever. Do I know anything about the EOS switch to mainnet, when it is happening, and what wallets support it or will support it? So Binance have already announced that they will support it. So if you're really unsure and you trust Binance, use them. Actually, weirdly, that's probably what I'm going to do. In theory, all you have to do though is register your Ethereum address that your ERC20 token EOS tokens are currently sitting in, and they will do the rest. And like, you'll be able to go and claim them from their website or something, I guess, somehow. Genuinely not sure how it works yet. All I know is that Binance have said that they're going to be supporting EOS mainnet tokens at launch and will facilitate the swap from EOS ERC20 tokens. So honestly, that's probably how I'm going to do it, because I really trust Binance, especially after the latest hack and the way they handled it. I actually really, really trust Binance. So I am happy to put my funds on there and allow them to do it. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Like maybe a week or so before tokens are due to launch. Huh. Chris knows more than me. Chris has been keeping up on EOS a lot more than me recently. DM'd me on Discord. I mean, I've literally switched to it. You can see it open here. You should probably change your like text up here to have CoinLib and then the line, then cryptocurrency market now or whatever. Just because it's not that descriptive. I also think your logo could probably be a bit more, I don't know, a bit less like just a C. Just a letter C. Just my feedback since you're watching. Look at oil go. It's going for it. Drop, damn you, drop. Plummet. Plummet. Oh, it's dropping. It's going all over the... It is pretty wild right now. It's gone on 1 minute and really, like, I don't know, have a panic attack. Yeah, hit that. And then we've got parabolic SAR support. Yeah, which means nothing in a 1 minute chart. Oh no. Ooh, oh. These are all the bots panicking right now. Yeah, at some point, Bob, I will probably actually change the little live info from eToro thing to say like live info from eToro and CoinLib or something, since currently we've cut off your CoinLib logo to make it fit. So we're taking half the bottom row of information from eToro and then the ticker above it from you guys. I'm just saying, where is that robot guy? Steve Robertson. Where is he? I'm just saying, like, I am going in hard on him because I've consistently said that Bitcoin will be one of the best performers out of this drop, and today is a very nice example in the past 24 hours. Nano is smashing it though, and Digix DAO. Everyone's buying some gold for some reason. It's actually an article that I want to write at some point about the upcoming swell in tokens that are backed by assets, the tokenization of different asset classes to allow people to diversify from cryptocurrencies while remaining in cryptocurrencies. Ooh, last hour. Let's have a look at the last hour. Did I say last 7 days? I meant last 30, sorry. In the last hour, things are looking up. In the last 24 hours, things are also looking up. Someone was mentioning Lisk earlier, having a bit of a nice run the last couple of days. I prefer this to CoinMarketCap so much, by the way. Like, just having the colours here is amazing. To show like where it's gone since the start of the day and stuff. Like, I don't know, I just absolutely love this. The only thing I'm not sold on yet is the main charts. So if you come over here, it doesn't look as nice. Not sure why. Also, it always seems to reset to like some tiny view timescale. Or does it? Was I on all that time? Maybe it remote. No. I don't know what I would like it to be preset to. I don't know why I'm complaining really. Yeah, I just don't like it being set to daily. Like I would probably like year to date or something. Which interestingly isn't an option. all the feedback from my from me browsing around your website. Yeah, I mean, like I still feel like this search box and even the USD thing should both be like down here somewhere. Personally, but I think that may just be my personal preference and bias, and maybe even habit from using CoinMarketCap or something. But like, I absolutely love this. This is just so clear what you want. So clear. See, look, this is the problem. You need to have your logo or somewhere on your website. It needs to say CoinLib, because at the moment, anyone watching my stream, they're gonna like look at this little font, or they're gonna like type exclamation mark ticker. Otherwise, they just won't know. You need to put CoinLib. Right, CoinLib. Like Crypto Compare. Crypto Compare have got a nice little logo. I also like Crypto Compare, by the way. But here's the real question: where is their dark mode? Do I have to log in to have a dark mode? Is there a dark mode at the bottom? I can't find one. I'm not sure what I think about this stuff. Like the problem with Crypto Compare is that it's very clearly monetized, and it's a little bit in your face. Like, one of the things I really like is if you go to all coins on here, it has 2 sponsored ones at the top, and like I like that they highlighted them and clearly wrote sponsored, but it's still I don't know, like it would be nice if it was like separated from the list a little bit. I can understand doing sponsored coins, but and this is nice. I like the colours changing. I'm always a fan of stuff that does that. I realise that I'm like not even showing you full screen. Yeah, I like the colours changing. It's nice. Should we do like shall I do an article about my favourite the pros and cons of different cryptocurrency listing websites? What am I doing? It's a bit quiet today, really. Let's go up here, minimize this, have a look at some other stuff. Like, I think I need to keep oil open. Snapchat's had a little bounce off that support line, like I said it would, because I'm smart. Microsoft's back down again. Could be a nice buy opportunity, maybe. Or the parabolic SAR is about to flip again. So, maybe not quite yet. Could potentially drop back down to like 93 range again before going back up. Let's do this on this screen. It's much easier to do it on this screen. I'm gonna have to stretch my neck. Top screens are good for charts and like basic info, but if I actually have to read stuff, I always want it on my main screen, really. Yeah, now that we've got the chat in my stream, I don't see a reason not to upload it to YouTube. Before, my big hesitation with uploading my streams to YouTube was that like a lot of it's out of context because you can't see the chat. But now that I think all of my scenes, what was that? Yeah, all of my scenes have got chat on it now. So anyone watching the video is just gonna see me like going through all of these and be like, what? I'm still against XRP, you are correct. Still against it. Anti-XRP. That's me. They call me J Anti-XRP Smith. Yeah, my PC was gone for a long time. Bunch of life stuff got in the way in the middle of that as well. Real life stuff. With the family and whatnot. So, but I'm back now. So it's all good. It's all good. Although, I'm struggling for what to trade today, really. Like, Snapchat's not coming back. I mean, it's a Friday, so it would be nice if this GoPro would head into profit, really, because otherwise I have to pay the weekend holding fee, which is a whole, like, 5 cents. Which obviously means that all of my copies do as well. Yeah, Baidu, I don't know. I feel I've like Baidu, Alibaba, who else is there out there that I can't remember? Like JD. There's a few of them. But I just feel like Alibaba is smashing it. Absolutely smashing it in everything at the moment. Like they're so good. Like Alipay is just expanding everywhere. Their cloud stuff is going really well. Their main services are obviously doing well. They're investing in a lot of growth areas, like esports and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of good partnerships. I don't know. Alipay is Alibaba is where it's at. I think in Asia at the moment. I'm really happy with my Alibaba. That I've still got some Alibaba. Honestly, I should probably even add some more. Taking a look at it. I've got 3 positions at the moment, so I think I closed a couple not too long ago, like maybe a couple of weeks ago. Took a bit of profit, but like as we're pushing up on 200 again, might be worth getting in soon. Now is not the time to do so though. Based off of that chart. Yeah, not quite the kind of period you want to be investing, I think. Right. High on the RSI, very close to flipping on parabolic SAR, big gap up at market open, and pretty much, you know, it's up here in no man's land really, isn't it? But look, I had a green line on this chart as well. What's with all these green lines that I used to draw years ago? I say years ago, it's probably like 5 months ago or whatever, but earnings did well. Big thing about their earnings as well is that cloud computing is one of the big drivers of their earnings increase, and they've still got a very long way to go, like in terms of the amount of market they can get, the amount of market saturation they can go for. Oh, come down here, look at this. My GoPro is in a very small profit. I might set really tight take profit on this. Change it to an amount, and let's go for like. So I invested $3.75. So $3.75, $375. Sorry. Maybe like $2, which is like 0.5%. It's not great, but I would kind of be okay with that. 2 days, yeah, it's not great, but I'm kind of. No, you know what? I'm not okay with it. I changed my mind. I want like $4. I want more than 1%. Bcash is going on a little run. I actually don't think I have Bitcoin Cash up here in my watch list for UCHU. Still on Kraken, don't want that. Put it on Coinbase. And let's then go to it. It is going on a little run, you're right. Massive volume as well, look at that. Huge volume. A little bit of a pump. But why? Why is there a little bit of a pump? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that can actually pull anything along with it. I don't think it will. Massively oversold in RSI. Might actually be a good shorting opportunity. Like, I know we're on a 30-minute chart at the moment. Let's turn to like 2 hours, see if we're getting up there. We're not oversold. Like, if we hit oversold on 2 hours, then I'll definitely take a short out. In the RSI. 1 hour oversold. Just. But it's probably got a bit of room left, and we don't know if there's any like fundamental news or something supporting it. Yeah, Roger Buzz. On the pump train. Yeah, I'm all good for a potential short move on it. Potentially. Yeah, I've got it open down here as well. I'm not gonna lie, this Stream Deck is amazing. What an amazing purchase. It's so good. Like, it's not cheap. You know, you could buy a premium keyboard for your PC for the same money as the Stream Deck. But it's so useful as a streamer. Like, this is so useful. It'll probably take a bit of getting used to. But some of my transitions have not been super smooth on here. Back to Bcash. Yeah, do I want to short Bitcoin Cash? Like, looking on the eToro chart, it doesn't look like there's that much opportunity for shorting, to be honest, because it looks like it dropped lower than a lot of the others, potentially, maybe, possibly. Let's go back up here and let's kind of compare it. 1 hour. What we're on here, 1 hour. Yeah, maybe it was just a bit of a, like, Litecoin's kind of gone with it. Ethereum is doing the worst. Oh no, move my line again. I need Bitcoin up really. Let's replace Ethereum with BTC. Oh, actually, I've got it up here anyway that I can click on easily. Because I don't want to click on the wrong one. There you go. Yeah, so this one hasn't really gone up. This line is in clearly not a good position at all. I need to move this line because it's doing my head in. That's better. I probably moved that by accident ages ago and just forgot to move it back. So yeah, like, it's moved up above the others, but it also dropped further than the others here, I think. Like, the cool thing about using this what's it called? What is it called? This software, this app Training View, is that, as you can see, the time when I'm on one chart goes along the other charts as well, so I can quite easily compare how far, like, time wise, and pretty much see the drops on both. Just a shame I don't have my lines and stuff crossed over. I could do a comparison, I suppose, but I wonder if there's anything supporting it. Let's go do a bit of research. And by a bit of research, I mean check Reddit. BTC, because, you know, little scammers, aren't they? I've got reflection on my screen. It's really hard to see. Don't know why. Sun's in a weird place. Because winter is ending. 5 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Some FUD about the Lightning Network. I don't see anything. Huh. That's pretty nuts. Yeah, I don't see anything substantial. Actually, that does remind me though that I don't think I own any Twitter shares at the moment, and I still want some. Have you noticed dumper clock at 5 and 6 and 8 p.m.? Yeah. It's like the Mount Gox dump and stuff. That was what time of day was that? It was like 4 p.m. like 3 days in a row or something, UK time. So yeah, I guess 5 p.m. European time if you're from Europe. Am I too late? Too late for what? I don't know. I don't know if you're too late. Let's go up here and change this to from Baba to Twitter. I don't have any positions in Twitter at the moment, but I still want some because I think Twitter is like looking pretty decent at the moment. But I sold some after this candle here. I think it was that candle. It might not have been that candle actually. I don't know when it was. It was somewhere in like the 35 range. I got a decent price for it. And I was holding a few positions. I was very frustrated at the earnings because I was holding Twitter like all the way along for like ages, like back here or whatever. And I was like holding it along here, and then like I sold some here, and then I sold some more here. I sold some more, I think, on this one, and then their earnings released, and I realised I'd sold all of my positions, so I didn't have any positions in Twitter for that earnings, which sucks because I literally wrote a post about how I expected them to do well. You're not too late to join the stream. I mean, we are probably gonna end the stream in like 15 minutes, but hey, at least you saw some of it. And I think me and Jesse have agreed that we're gonna upload them to YouTube. Yes, we are apparently. And by we, I mean Jesse. He put his thumb up. I feel like we should get a Jesse cam. I just like perch it up here and just point it towards you. You can go. Make a what? I'll just constantly keep a link to you open on like Skype or something. We're gonna throw it across to Jesse now for Jesse's update corner. Give you a little segment. You can talk about everything that's wrong with capitalism. every single segment would just be how much you dislike Elon Musk. Jesse very strongly dislikes Elon Musk, by the way. We have some fans of Make a Jesse Cam, by the way. And by some fans, I mean one guy. What are my thoughts on LightPay? I always thought LightPay was massively overhyped. I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, like, Dash is building their own version of it as well, and yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely needed for Litecoin, but I never listened to any of the hype that was going on surrounding LightPay, to be honest. He will never love us. He only loves other smart, slightly mad scientist people. Just checking my Discord because I've got a mention. Ooh, there's a testing channel. Chris made a testing channel for him to try and make the bot work. Did you delete the other testing channel at jaynemesis? I didn't know there was a testing channel. What's wrong with this guy? I love that he's sent that like 3 hours ago, and I've just read it. Any thoughts on apples? I'm allergic to them, so not a big fan. As in, I actually think I am allergic to apples, as in actual apples, not Apple the company. Although that's also has a pretty strong reaction from me sometimes. Like if someone breaks out an iPhone, they're like, "This phone's amazing." I'm like, "Well, is it? The camera's pretty good, though." To be fair to them, camera's pretty good. Big question. When can we use the eToro API? You know what? You're not the first person to ask that. And you won't be the last, probably. eToro should definitely open up their API, because a lot of people want to build cool trading bots and stuff. And it would be a really cool, like, in the same way that they have, like, copy people, they could have copy bots. You could literally label accounts as bots and set up copy bots that are a bit like copy funds. That'd be pretty cool. I want to buy some Twitter, but it's just too expensive. So I'm not allowed to, because that's how it works. And maybe it's going to go up without me, and then I'm going to feel really bad. Everyone loves Tyrael. Everyone loves Tyrael. You are the meme lord. You are the meme lord of my stream and my Discord. I almost feel like giving you your own role on Discord as meme lord. Perhaps if you befriend Jesse enough, he'll make one for you. The Nvidia CEO, he's pretty good at answering technical questions. And AMD's Lisa Su, she's okay as well. That's the interesting thing about tech companies. Like, they do tend, generally speaking, to have slightly more knowledgeable people at the top of them in terms of technical ability. I mean, it depends, like, not all tech stocks, I guess, you know. Yahoo, for example. Pretty good example. Isn't eToro super expensive to trade on? It really depends what you're comparing it to. For cryptocurrencies, it has much higher spreads than most places. For trading stocks and forex, it's reasonably competitive. The withdrawal fee is pretty good if you're trading with a decent amount of money, like anything over like $1,000 is pretty negligible amount. It doesn't have very many hidden fees. Leverage fees have gone up a bit recently, but they're still, still pretty palatable. Like, I mean, it really depends what you're comparing it to. In the crypto world, like, their biggest competitor in terms of like in the same sort of market as them is actually Coinbase. In that, eToro is easy to use, a lot easier than most exchanges, and a lot safer, a lot more reputable. But you pay for that effectively. Oh no, has Jesse started arguing in the comments? Oh, he's not arguing, he said. Because he's already won. One thing everyone should know is that me and Jesse are very strongly opposed on our opinions of Elon Musk. I believe he is potentially the second coming of Jesus. Jesse believes that he is potentially the death of the planet. Or a killer of the poor. Or something. Something along those lines. I may be paraphrasing a little bit. Any video games under development that I'm looking forward to? Not under development, but there is one being released this month, very soon, called Sea of Thieves, that I will be playing, which will be fun. That same person really wants a Jesse cam. Yeah. To be fair, I could just steal the webcam I gave to Leanne back, plug it in, and set it up as a Jesse cam. Really, I feel like we need a lot of USB extensions to get it all the way over there. Jesse does stream though, so like if you're interested in Jesse's opinions and Jesse's gaming, he plays a lot of games. Some of them are pretty fun. I watched a few of his streams. Some of them I don't like. His Final Fantasy 1 I find incredibly boring because I don't really like Final Fantasy that much. Like, I don't dislike it, I just don't like it. But yeah, Jesse streams like, I don't know, like 4 times a week or something. So he's streaming tomorrow if you want to watch him. We know you want a Jesse cam. Like, you don't have to keep asking about a Jesse cam. Oh, there's Mini Dan. Mini Dan's still alive. He's alive. Have you moved back to Hyde, Mini Dan? I feel like we should probably take this conversation off stream now. We're starting to get very off topic, I've noticed. Like, I haven't done much. Honestly, I've done barely any trading today. That BCH move is still going though. You can just see it up here. Whoa, okay, look, now you can see it. Or how about this? I'll make it full screen and then I'll go back to this one and then it's bigger. See? BCH still moving. Right, I think I'm going to close out the stream. The what question? Where's that? Oh yeah. It is moving to real asset trading, hence leaving CFDs. A real plan of eToro. How, why, and how. How, why, and how. I don't know. I think it is. It looks from my perspective and from anyone else who's kind of paying attention to what eToro is doing, from their perspective as well, like they are gearing up to move in that direction. Why? Probably because they have enough volume to support it now, whereas before they didn't. Like starting a trading platform, like there is no point in setting yourself up to trade real stocks and real cryptocurrencies and everything else from the get-go when you have, less than 100,000 users. It's just not worth the costs that are involved. On top of that, you have the fact that Canada, the USA, potentially even the UK in the future, a bunch of other countries do not like CFDs. They do not like derivatives generally, but they especially don't like CFDs. And obviously that's a big market. Like, imagine if eToro could actually open up to the US market. That is a big deal. I have a lot of friends in America who would love to copy my trading, but can't. And obviously they just lost everyone from Canada as well recently because of what's happened there. So it seems to me like a sensible thing to do. I guess that would be the why. How? I don't know. I'm not really an expert on these things. I mean, cryptocurrency is reasonably easy to do, especially given the background that they've got. They've got experience with cryptocurrencies. Yoni has literally created his own cryptocurrency. He works with Vitalik on colored coins back in the day, prior to Ethereum. So they have the connections into the crypto space to do that pretty easily, and I believe that they are doing that. Stocks, I just don't know though. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know how you go about doing that. I believe currently they have some pretty big partnerships, and they're driving a lot of volume for those partners now. So I guess it must be possible. It is stupid to have futures but not CFDs. I entirely agree. Futures are, if any, I think personally that futures are more detached from real price action and stuff like that than CFDs. I think CFDs are a brilliant invention, to be honest. But we'll see. I mean, it would make me happy, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really make that much difference for me at this point. I really liked CFDs when I first joined eToro because it meant that I could buy stocks that I couldn't normally afford. I could buy part of a stock. Like, a Google stock right now is pretty expensive. Or Amazon, $1,600 for a share. If that share isn't divisible, then that's not great for people that don't have lots of money. So CFDs has its upsides. I don't know if you can do that, or if they're going to try and find a way of getting around that. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to check this tweet that Jesse linked. It's opened in this window. I'll move it down here and then switch my source. Hashtag organic growth. Amazing. Big fan of Whale Panda. Right, I'm going to end the stream now. Sorry, I really don't know enough about Platinum to talk about Platinum. I wish I did, but I just don't. So you're probably going to have to find someone else. I don't think I've ever traded it. So, yeah, and I'll explain CFDs if you attend my next stream, because that'll probably take more than 5 minutes to explain, and I need the toilet again because I've drunk too much water. So, yeah, Soul's me, Dan. But you can message if you got Discord, add me on Discord, or join my Discord server. Jesse will, I'm sure, provide the thing. I think you can type !what Discord or something. There you go. He just did it. Right, I'm gonna head off. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys on Monday for the weekly update video, and then Tuesday for streaming again. And Jesse is determined that we will make this a regular thing. My content will be free flowing for everyone. Cool. Cheerio, everyone.